paying a quarterback this high, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a player that is Mahomes or able to save the team. I'll tell you what happened while we kicked field goals. Sacks and penalties that were not on Dak at all. So when I'm looking at that game, we kicked a field goal where we were inside the 10-yard line, and then a holding penalty and another penalty. And then the next drive, we get back in field goal range, CD fumbles. And now we're down 14-3. Yeah, the defense can't stop anybody, but this is a one-dimensional offense. He threw the ball 51 times with no inkling of a running game. That is not Dak. You can't no. Dak cannot operate like that. He's not coming out there and throwing the ball 60 times, 50 times and winning the game. He needs a balanced offense. He needs players to not get penalties in key situations that's going to kill drives. And that's what we saw yesterday. Like, this is my point about the whole training camp thing. It goes all the way back to the Joneses. You don't extend Mike McCarthy, right? So what does that do? Your coach is gonna check out. He thinks he's not gonna have a job at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? They just let the gas off the pedal a little bit because he knows
he's right to think that.
And he is right to think that, because that's what's gonna happen. They already talking about old boy from the Saints like he the next coming of your Lord and Savior. So I'm just trying to think about what's the cause of all this. And you look at Dak, you look at the undisciplinedness on the whole team. Honestly, the lack of aggression, everything to me here comes down to coaching in this organization. Our star players are star players. CD had a bad game, but I don't expect that to continue, And it's very frustrating as well, man. He's never lost in a Cowboys uniform. I don't think he's ever really been a part of just consistent, just trash, really think about it, his last 3 games have been just utter trash, outside of the Browns. Our last 4 games have been utter trash, Yeah. So I'm not even this is organizational. I love the comments from Dak. I mean, maybe they do figure it out. You did play the Saints and you did play the Browns. I don't know what that game in New Orleans and Philadelphia was about. That was very confusing to watch what they put on tape against the Eagles. But then you backdoor, the Ravens still have a good defense. They was up. They pooped that game against the Raiders, but they was up 17-6. They just blew the game.
Yeah.
Dak is cool, man. He has to be more accurate. I love that Brady's grading each throw, because that's exactly the difference between him and a player like Aaron Rodgers or Mahomes. That placement, what is your receiver going to do? Same thing I be talking about when I'm looking at these quarterback prospects, man. Where's the ball ending up, and what was your receiver able to do after he caught the ball? Dak needs to improve on that. You know what I'm saying? So seems like he's regressing a little bit in his accuracy, but I'm not putting this game on Dak, man. I watched 3 drives get killed by things that had nothing that completely out of his control. He just gotta, man, it's Jerry. Know who you have. You don't have Patrick Mahomes. Why would you tell this dude I'm gonna pay you $60 million, but it's gonna be all on you? No, sir. That is not how it works. That's not how it works in the league anymore. But Jerry's still operating like that. The only person that's had to do that is Lamar and Patrick Mahomes, and one of them ain't been able to do it.
Neither one of them have ever done that.
Yes, they have. They both won games without.
Lamar came into a great organization. Both of them came in with both great organizations. What do you mean?
Great organizations, but not weapons, Quay.
Yeah, he mean weapons. Lamar ain't getting no weapons till they got Zay Flowers.
Kelsey, and Lamar ain't won nothing, so he brought up Lamar for nothing.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. One of them's done it, and one of them's not. But those are the only players that's been successful without great weapons at their skill positions. Dak has always needed weapons. He's not in that tier. You feel me? We pretty much saying the same thing. It's just, I'm just trying to, everybody needs to look at Jerry, bro. It's Jerry. This whole offseason has been Jerry. This soft culture is Jerry. You hired an old coach, Mike McCarthy, who couldn't even figure it out with Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not acting like I wasn't excited for Mike McCarthy, but you got to remember, I'm leaving Jason Garrett. So, anything was, I would have took anything,
Anything was better than that.
But we got to get these old dudes out of here. And the nation is already back at it. They talking about, let's get Bill in here. No, Bill's 70-something. No.
Let that man retire.
Go get that. It's a Shanahan at James Madison, right? They just beat UNC, blew them out at that.
Yeah.
James Madison University. I think it might be Junior, Mike Shanahan Jr. or grandson, whatever. I don't care. But he took James Madison and blew out North Carolina, a school twice as big as his. So that's something to look at. But y'all looking at Clint Kubiak, but it's the same. It's the same old, man. You mishandle your coach's contract, he checks out. You keep the number one receiver and your number one quarterback pairing out all offseason because you won't give him the money. Just to give him the money, at that, you ain't even getting no discount. Like, it's not like these contracts coming out like, oh, wow, Jerry really got him over. No, bro. Like, these dudes are still, that got a no trade clause. Like, come on, man. Dude, they getting fleeced. He's making the most money in the league and he got a no trade clause. Y'all are getting fleeced in these negotiations and y'all prolonging them for no reason, and it costs us training camp. And it cost our coach not having a secure contract cost us his focus, which is what you see on the field. Penalties, two-hand touch tackling. Man, it's Jerry.
Yeah, I'm agreeing there. One, I'm always going to blame Jerry first before anything else with the Cowboys. Two, I wasn't putting this game on Dak. I was just saying when you're that guy, when you're supposed to be that guy, which I know he's not, but when you're supposed to be that guy, you got to go make some of those plays, bro. Some plays. I ain't even saying you got to win. You can't keep going into halftime, though, losing like this and no offensive production. Yeah, there's penalties. Yeah, there's other things. But we also saw that display of your words, that noodle arm, man. You talk about Jalen Hurts and his noodle arm. Now, we'll get to Jalen Hurts later because I'm sick of him too. But the Dak, you talk about Tua and Jalen Hurts with the noodle arm, you have to put Dak in there now. These last couple games, absolute wet noodle arm, like just super noodle, like outright. It don't matter what out. He's underthrowing people like crazy. Like it's the noodle arm is on full display. Final words about this, Quay, and what Dak said with the do you want to jump off the bandwagon, and do you think it's time to jump off the bandwagon with the Cowboys already?
Well, I said at the beginning of the season, they didn't get any better in the offseason, and you spent more money than every other team. You didn't add it. I had no expectation for the Cowboys. I believe they were way better last year. I believe that was the most talented they had put all together, and they also went out and got a couple free agents. I didn't think this would work. You pay TD. Now he's one of the top paid receivers. He has been giving you the production, but you have no number two. I told Kyrell at the beginning of the season, Brandon Cooks wasn't going to cut it. I told him last year, Jawan Jennings would be the number two there.
Hey,
he didn't want to say that.
Jennings
he said, "No, Jawan Jennings ain't better than." No, bro, I'm telling you, you have no other receivers. Your tight end ain't as good as y'all thought. Y'all let Dalton Schultz walk. Y'all missing key pieces, and it's not all on Dak, but he's a part of it. Like Jalen said, the arm is noodle. We talked about Shador, how you said the arm placement. If that's the case, bro, Dak should never play in the NFL. If Shador arm is noodle, Dak doesn't deserve to be in a jersey. I'm just saying, this is exactly what I would see from the Cowboys. They are going to beat a team randomly, and they're going to ask it, and we're going to get hyped up. We're going to see one of their best games again, and they'll do this again. They might win their division still because their division is big. They might win their division, be a wild card team, and lose in the first round again. This is the same formula of the last 5 years. This is the same formula of Dak's whole career. That's why you don't have any playoff wins. The worst roster they've had thus far, I don't believe it's going to get any better. So this is what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough, man. I'm not ready to just say it's time to jump off the bandwagon. Well, I wasn't on the bandwagon first. Let's start there. I wasn't on the bandwagon with the Cowboys. But, but I don't think it's time to just say they're going to be, worse than the Giants. I don't think it's time for that. I don't think they're going to be worse than the Commanders or anything like that. But as far as playoff hopes, yeah, man, you can wrap that up. You're not going to find no D tackles in the middle of the year like that or any linebackers in the middle of the year like that. So, we'll just have to wait to see how this goes, man. If what they have to do is go out here and beat the Giants. That's what they have to do. Before they figure out anything else, they need to figure out the ultimate game plan, and they have to go out there and beat the Giants. Daniel Jones cannot outplay Dak in any sort, or the team. A team that has Daniel Jones at the quarterback position cannot outplay a team that has Dak Prescott. It's just as simple as that. They got to go out there and they got to fix that. So we'll see next week. Folks, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we have plenty of more NFL to talk about. We got to talk about the Cowboys getting whooped. Now we got to talk about my team getting whooped in the Texans as they got blown out yesterday by the Vikings. And the Vikings and Steelers are undefeated right now, something that nobody saw coming. So we'll talk about that. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You're watching Centex Primetime on Infinity Sports Radio and on Centex Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blasian Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blasian Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
The East Waco Empowerment Project, along with City Center Waco, is hosting WeBo, Workshop and Business Opportunity, to help create more entrepreneurs. Business owners like Aniceto Charles of True Jamaica Restaurant and Carla Dotson of Boardwalk on Elm attended WeBo to develop their business ideas into successful Black-owned businesses right in the heart of East Waco. WeBo can also help you turn your side hustle or business idea into the next thriving Black-owned business in our community. If you would like to attend this 10-week intense entrepreneurial workshop, go to WeBoWaco.org. That's WIBO Waco.org. Space.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis. Act like y'all. Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We can talk about sports. And Infinity Sports. Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
We can talk about sports.
Listen, it's that time. This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
We live.
Stay ready to voice your thoughts by calling 1-800-215-0598. Right here on Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Centex Primetime right here on Infinity Sports Radio and Centex Sports Network. Jalen Gillis still here as we break down the primetime topics in sports, not only in Central Texas, but all around the nation. Right now, we're talking NFL. Just got done talking about the Cowboys and their mishaps against the Baltimore Ravens as they dropped that game. But got to have my fun talking about the Cowboys. Now we got to talk about my team, man. The Houston Texans. We didn't look so hot yesterday. We didn't look good at all, honestly. We took on the Minnesota Vikings. Got beat down 34-7 against the now undefeated Minnesota Vikings. They're 3-0, 2-0 at home. Sam Darnold is looking like the top 5 pick that they picked him to be. Seems like a decade ago now when he was back in New York at the Jets. But right now he's playing amazing football. Kevin O'Connell, a well-respected offensive mind. I thought he was a good coach and a great hire for Minnesota when they got him out of L.A. and he came to the Rams. Well, he torched my team yesterday, along with Aaron Jones, who ran for 102 yards, Justin Jefferson, 6 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Aaron Jones also added another 46 yards catching with the touchdown as well. C.J. Stroud, 2 turnovers. One of them wasn't his fault. They got tipped at the line. Linebacker made a good play. The second one was his fault. He's thrown 2 picks in this game. I think that might be the first time he's ever thrown 2 picks in a game in the league. I have to look at that. But didn't play great yesterday. This defense for the Minnesota Vikings, we talked about Kevin O'Connell, and he's doing a great job of scheming up their offense, which I knew he was going to be able to do. He got hired after he got Cooper Kupp that triple crown out there in L.A. After that, he came here and with Jettas being healthy, the sky's the limit on what they can do. But this defense, man, we saw it mess up the 49ers last week, and, we might have thought it was a little bit of a fluke. I didn't really think it was a fluke because I talked about Brian Flores as a defensive mind, a brilliant defensive coach. He came out here and did it to my team as well. We couldn't get anything going, and I'm saying we couldn't get anything going on the offensive end. We just could not figure that defense out. The stunts that they were running on the defensive line, the blitz schemes that they were running, they'll bring 8 guys to the line, drop half of them back. They'll bring up safeties on the blitz. Harrison Smith was active. C.J. Stroud got sacked 4 times. We've seen sacks come from multiple different places. Jonathan Gennard, who was home raised at the Houston Texans, spent his last 4 years in the league on the Texans. We drafted him a few years back. He had his revenge game against the Texans. Not a revenge game because he got paid his money going to Minnesota, but we essentially swapped out D-ends. We got Daniil Hunter, and they got Jonathan Gennard. Jonathan Gennard had 3 sacks yesterday. He looked great. But this defense, man, I can't give enough props to Brian Flores. I mean, he's doing an amazing job through the first 3 weeks. He's got to be, if there's some type of coaching MVP on the defensive end, it's definitely got to be him, man. He's been doing a phenomenal job scheming up their defense, and we really just had no answer for him. We had no answer for him, and the Minnesota Vikings are 3-0, and they've beaten at least 2 of the teams they've beaten were good teams with the 49ers and the Texans. 2 teams that expected to be, in the top 4, top 5 teams in the league. And this Minnesota team is performing right now. And we're going to talk about the Steelers right after that because they're 3-0 as well. Another team we didn't think about. But I want to get you guys' opinion, man, on what did y'all think? The Minnesota Vikings are 3-0. Sam Darnold, who was a throwaway, went to the 49ers last year and was a good backup for the 49ers. They wanted to keep him. They just couldn't pay him $10 million to stay there. So he came to the Minnesota Vikings. They even tried to throw him away, and they wanted to start J.J. McCarthy. But Sam Darnold has played great through the first 3 games of the season. Yesterday, 181 yards and 4 touchdowns. I don't know if he's had a 4-touchdown game since he's been in the league. So he's playing great. The Vikings, they're playing great. Carrera, what do you think about the Vikings surprising everybody, man, and stumping out my Texans yesterday?
Oh, man, it's good timing. It was good timing, especially the way my team's playing. But, man, yeah, Sam Darnold, been looking at, it's just another one of those cases, man, it shows you the importance of an organization. This is a kid that, I've been following ever since his first snap at USC, and all the hype around him as a freshman, when he took the field and everything. So I'm really happy to see him go to an organization that actually work out. Kevin O'Connell's looking like a great offensive mind, but man, what about the revenge tour for Brian Flores though? Like,
oh my
man, dude, yeah, this is what I like to see, man. Like you sue, I don't know if he sued Miami or the league, whichever one it was. Yeah, so you sue the league, your soft quarterback at the time come out and tell you he didn't like you because you was mean to him. And then you put a defense out on the field that's mean. So let's give a round of applause to Brian Flores, man, not following or succumbing to all that noise and just misfortune that has been around him these last couple of years. Extremely happy for Sam Darnold and extremely happy for Brian Flores. His coverage, I've been seeing people highlighted this, man, and this is one of those things that I know it's gonna sound crazy, but me and you, we everybody, we kind of do this on Madden, man. Like we flip those coverage looks, and the way he's describing his coverage looks had me playing Madden yesterday, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Facts.
Man, I was like, yeah, dude is down there showing a cover 3, and got the box safety bailing into a cover 2 and things like that, bro. I'm just like, that's all it takes. He cooking, man. It's confusing. Every quarterback is confused that plays him. I saw a picture of C.J. Stroud on the bench yesterday, man. I get it. What you mean the box safety you mean the box safety done played the opposite third in the backfield? What you mean he ran across the like? Come on, nobody. All the pre-snap reads are out the window. They switching the coverage at the snap, or they getting back into their real coverage at the snap. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. So, I did not expect this though. I did not expect this. I thought Sam Darnold would beat out JJ McCarthy for the spot. So when I saw JJ McCarthy was starting, I was kind of like, oh man, I guess the story is over probably. Mm-hmm. Because I expected him to win that job, but just to have him come out here and play how he's playing, starting last week, that rung a bell around the league, man. That 97-yard touchdown to Justin Jefferson, it rung it just like pretty much everybody's ears perked up because first of all, he put that mug past the logo. Like, I haven't seen a ball thrown that long. Like, you got to go back to like Cam, man. To like, I think about somebody launching it that far. So I'm happy about it, man. We'll see. They are for real. I'm more sure about them than the Saints. I know we got to see another game, but I'm more sure about them than about the Saints or Eagles or any other team in the NFC. I think our two favorites are probably in that division, man. And I know it's gonna sound crazy, but when the other team gets their quarterback back, I expect them to be really good because their defense looks great outside of that first game against Philadelphia. But the Packers and the Vikings, man, they're looking like the two best defenses in the NFC.
No, for real. And to your point about the props with Brian Flores, bro, the way he's disguising these coverages, when I seen Harrison Smith, it's one thing to bring your safety down in the box. Cool. A lot of people do that. Dude is at the line to scrimmage. He's next to the DN, and he's bailing to play cover two. Like, do y'all know how crazy that is? Harrison Smith is what, 35? He is sprinting as hard as he can to jump back. CJ Stroud, like you said yesterday, he looked befuddled on the bench. He had no idea what was going on, and I haven't seen that from CJ Stroud. And he's a young player, but I haven't seen him in too many games where he's just confused. He looked confused yesterday. The exact same confusion that Brock Purdy had a couple of weeks ago, when they played this Vikings. Shout out to Brian Flores, man. Dude is really, really cooking. Quay, you got to see this defense firsthand last week when they played your 49ers, man. What'd you think about the Vikings cooking my Texans yesterday?
To be honest, I think it was just a product of coaching again. Like I said, bro, the league is going by storm by getting schemed, and these new coaches and these new defensive coaches are coming in, and they're not letting you. We understand you're a great quarterback, so we're going to make it hard on you. They played a great game. And they also. It was just like Kyrell said, it was beautiful. It's like watching puzzle pieces get together, and it made sense. They gave the Texans a little no, slow them down because the Texans are really talented. They're well coached, and we got to see that the game against the 49ers wasn't a fluke. I watched my team look behooved and shook when they got on offense. Like it was like watching, it's like watching the Shanahans not have an answer for what they were getting through at them. And like Ariel said, they doing a bunch of pre-snap changes and motions, and they're not doing orthodox things. And it was good to watch coaching. It sucked to watch for the Texans. CJ, I know CJ in the film room going crazy because he is
Facts.
He a student, so I know he'll bounce back from that, and I know next time he play the Vikings, he's gonna be revenge because he is a competitor. He ain't loser. He is he really know, and he takes the game, and so I think y'all bounce back, but that was just the Vikings just put on a master class, top to bottom. They knew what they were doing. They knew the game plan. They run at the ball. They run around. They know where Justin Jefferson is. He's even when you scheme him out the game, you can't. Sam Darnold, man, I feel the type of way because, like I said, we couldn't pay him on the 49ers, but I would much rather have him on my team still, knowing that any injuries could happen. And I'm happy for him. And can we just make a round of applause to bad organizations? Like bad organizations are drafting people and ruining their careers, and they're having to go revive them. This man was the number one pick.
Number 3, I think. Still.
He was the top quarterback. You
Still,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
he came off the board, like, they're killing careers, and then understanding that it's not just the players. We're watching Bryce Young, and when the last three quarterback was the problem. You get what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah.
happy for Sam Darnold. I'm happy that he's getting to be on the team, be with a receiver core that understands the scheme, and he's just producing. I'm happy for him. But it was a master class. But I think y'all bounced back. But it was definitely a good the coaching. I just got our coach yesterday.
Facts. I mean, we definitely got our coach yesterday, and it's not often that you say that about the Texans. They got a great coaching staff. And to your point, man, these organizations, they're really ruining quarterbacks, and we're watching it in real time. We're looking at Geno Smith. We're looking at Baker Mayfield thrive. We're looking at Sam Darnold thrive. And half of them play for the Jets. It's got
Fields.
Yeah, Justin Fields. That's what we're finna talk about next. Half of them played for the Jets. I want to go back, and I'm starting to feel some type of way about my dog Bryce Petty that came out of Baylor, man. He went to the Jets. I thought he could have been a decent NFL quarterback, but he ain't get much time because the only time he got to play was on the Jets. I'm starting to think maybe if he would have gotten one of them Shanahan type systems, he could have been decent. But Sam Darnold doing a great job. Vikings doing a great job. And like Kyrell said, man, I think they're for real. I don't really think this is a fluke. But before we go to break, I wanted to ask you about the other 3-0 team. I mean, the Vikings and Steelers being 3-0 and being one of the last undefeated teams left is not what I had on my bingo card to start the NFL season. But here we are. Justin Fields. Now, I said before the season started that I think Justin Fields should be the starter. And I knew that Chicago was ruining him as a player. But to see him literally get better every single week, he's not doing anything crazy, but he doesn't need to. You just need to win football games. Now, I don't think they would have beat the Chargers yesterday if Justin Herbert doesn't get hurt, because the Chargers are another one of these teams that are just sticking around in these games and just playing smart football. And if Herbert doesn't get hurt, it could be a different story, but he did, and the Steelers are 3-0. Justin Fields, 25 for 32, 245 yards, one pick, one touchdown. You know, he's had decent games in the league before, but to see him just go out there and just win. This dude's won at every level. We expected him to win coming in to the league, but he got drafted to a horrible organization. Look at what's happening with Caleb Williams. So, I mean, Justin Fields, he's doing a great job, honestly, running the helms, and I better not see Russell Wilson put that helmet on and come out there to start a QB. I will stop liking Mike Tomlin as a coach if I see him do that and bench Justin Fields for no reason, because dude's been playing great. Real quick, Quay, what do you think about the Steelers being 3-0 and them getting a win over the Chargers yesterday?
I read a stat where like they were saying Justin Fields could win averaging less than 16 points a game, and that's totally correct. Their defense is playing great. They're totally like he's not making those spectacular Mahomes, but he's making the plays that they need, the first down that they need, the field, getting them in field goal. He's doing the runs. He's doing it at a fashion that is serviceable. He doesn't have to be one of the top 10 quarterbacks to be serviceable on a good team. He's a good quarterback on a good, well-coached team with a great defense. I think he played great for what the Steelers need. I don't want to see Russell Wilson again. I thought his career was about over, respectfully. But it would be a total slap in the face, and I don't believe Mike Tomlin is going to sit a player that's winning for a maybe and a possible, because I don't see Russell Wilson putting them over the top. I'm happy for Justin Fields. Like you said, no matter what, look at what Caleb Williams is doing. So it's got to be these organizations. Caleb Williams is a great talent. No, you need help, and I'm happy for Justin. And, I don't want to be long-winded on the Steelers because I ain't a big fan of them. But, great team win. Great for Justin Fields. He did exactly what Mike Tomlin asked, and I'm pretty sure Mike Tomlin's sleeping well and ain't knowing this.
Yeah, I don't see him benching him for a possible either. That's just would go against kind of Mike Tomlin's character and that, and he's earning it. He's going out there and he's earning these wins, man. He's 3-0. You can't bench the dude. Now, if he go out here, have one of them old Justin Field games where he throw 3-4 picks, maybe you reconsider that. But right now, man, he's just doing what he's supposed to do. He had a rushing touchdown. He had a throwing touchdown. But it was really more of the throws, and not that they were just crazy Mahomes-type throws or Herbert-type throws. They're just the right throws, and that's something that was a question mark around him his first few years in Chicago. Can he just make the right throws? Right now, he's doing it. Kyra, what do you think about Justin Fields and the Steelers being 3-0?
Yeah, it's a great story, man. I'm happy that he's performing and basically getting Russell Wilson out of there, man. Hey, he's done his duty. It's time for him to ride off into the sunset, man. We moving on. But yeah, I just love the whole thing, man. Justin Fields thrashed and trashed for the first couple years of his career. It goes to Mike Tomlin, the criminally underrated head coach, that just keeps somehow making the playoffs every year. That really never gets mentioned as the best coach of football to me. But, but I get that, Super Bowls and stuff. But they pair up, and it looks like his career might be getting a fire lit under it again, and so that's just always great to see, man. And then just the reiteration of what these bad organizations can do to players. Like, these dudes aren't bad. This is the cream of the crop. Like, they got some talent in them, man. And especially 9 times out of 10 at the quarterback, man, it's looking like it's probably going to be these organizations that's throwing these guys, So I look at Tennessee and Malik Willis, man. Like,
facts.
They put the side by side up. And I don't think I know everybody. I haven't really seen his name a whole lot, but man, I don't think nobody had a better week than Malik Willis. You go to the team that drafted you and would never start you, drafted another quarterback after you that put over you, and then you go in there and put up 300, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Malik Willis, man, like that's another story. Titans can't really develop no talent, so goes to Green Bay, and these coaches are just elevating, man. They breaking down these offenses. They taking all this pressure off of these quarterbacks. Like, you see it with Justin Fields. He's not calling protection. His linemen are. Even with Jalen Hurts, they do that thing. That's why Jalen Hurts has been so successful. His Landon Dickerson calls out the protections on that offense. It's just taking stuff off of your young quarterback so they don't have to be Peyton Manning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just making it easier for the team. And then what was another thing, man? Caleb Williams is going to be a dog. He's going to be a dog.
And I hope so.
If he's looking like that, I saw a play, man, the Chicago O-line.
They're terrible.
Did you see that picture?
Yeah, I seen that. That was terrible.
Every O-lineman was on their belly, bro. Every single O-lineman got put on their belly, and there's 5 dudes at the running back. I said, nah, bro. But so I'm thinking, a lot of these young talents are coming in, man. They're going to be all right. They just got to get around the right. Nice celebration. Shout out Justin Fields, though.
Yeah, and I ain't saying I'm never saying Caleb Williams is going to be sorry. I just don't, So a lot of people were thinking he was going to come in right away and just be plug and play, and it just don't work like that. But you made a great point about Malik Willis, because I forgot about him. The Titans, they didn't even really give dude a chance. He might have started a couple games where Derrick Henry wasn't even playing, D-Hop wasn't even playing, no receivers, no O-line, no running game, and just be like, oh, well, you threw some picks, so you must be sorry. Then they draft Will Levis, another product of, hey, man, he's tall and white. Let's draft dude, man. He's tall. He looks like he could throw the – I don't see what made them get Will Levis. Like, he is just going to be some type of dog. You put him in there. And he's probably had 2 or 3 of the funniest pictures in this young NFL season. The one in game 1 where he threw the pick six and had his hands over his head. And then it was one again this week. I'm like, man, you have to stop. I don't think he realizes that there's cameras on him whenever he's doing this stuff, but it makes for great television, and he is hilarious. He's just not good at quarterback. And Malik Willis, that is how you go in there and flush somebody, man. They gave up on you. This dude didn't even learn the system. They picked him up. He flew out there on a Wednesday. He has to start in like 10 days, less than that. Like, so that's crazy to see how much of a impact these coaches can have. And shout out to, because I want to say Matt LaFleur was on that Redskins coaching staff as well, but I can't remember if he was when it was Kyle Shanahan.
He was.
Sean McVay, Matt. Hey, bro, that needs to be studied. It was some dogs on that coaching staff, and the Commanders were still sorry. But there were some dogs on that coaching staff. I don't know how that happened. They were still sorry. But there were some dogs on that coaching staff. But shout out Malik Willis. Shout out Justin Fields, man. Folks, we got to take a quick break. And hour number 2 coming up, we got to talk about Baylor dropping the ball against Colorado, unfortunately. But Shedeur is a dog, and so is Travis Hunter. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about a couple more of these NFL games, and we got to preview the Monday night doubleheader that we have tonight. So stay right here, folks, on Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas, and on Centex Sports Network. We're going to be right back after this break.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
The East Waco Empowerment Project, along with City Center Waco, is hosting WeBo, Workshop and Business Opportunity, to help create more entrepreneurs. Business owners like Aniceto Charles of True Jamaica Restaurant and Carla Dotson of Boardwalk on Elm attended WeBo.
859132.
Black-owned businesses right in the heart of East Waco. WeBo can also help you turn your side hustle or business idea into the next thriving Black-owned business in our community. If you would like to attend this 10-week intense entrepreneurial workshop, go to WeBoWaco.org. That's WIBO Waco.org. Space.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
We can talk about sports. Listen, it's that time.
This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
We live.
Stay ready to voice your thoughts by calling 1-800-215-0598.
This is worth
Right here on Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Welcome back, everybody, to hour number 2 of Centex Prime Time, as we get ready to talk about the primetime topics here in sports, not only in Central Texas, but around the nation as well. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening with us today as we break down some football on the NFL Recap Weekend. Still got 2 games to take place tonight, and we'll talk about those a little bit later here in hour number 2. Once again, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you guys go on to YouTube to be able to watch the show weekdays 5 to 7. That's on Centex Sports Network on YouTube, Centex Sports TV on YouTube as well. Or you can jump on the Facebook, Centex Sports Network, and watch there. If you want to listen to this content, download the app Centex Sports One on the Google Play Store and on the Apple Store as well. Still here, joined with Kyrell Gibson and Quay on here, as well as we're going to go through a couple quick takes, man. Just some stuff that happened this weekend. Nothing crazy. Some topics that everyone's been talking about, and one of them is the best game I've seen in college football so far this year, man. Colorado taking on the Baylor Bears. Baylor had this game in control for a majority of the game, but at the end of the game, it slipped away. Actually, on the last play of regulation, slipped away from the Baylor Bears as Colorado came out with the win in that game in an overtime thriller. Best game I've seen in college football so far this year. 38-31, Colorado comes out with the win. Now, Shedeur, he didn't play his best game, but he proved a lot to me in that he got beat up pretty much the entire night. I mean, they were killing this dude. I mean, Baylor's D-line all looked like first-round picks. 8 sacks, and could have had like 15. That's around what I counted. Could have had 14 or 15 sacks in this game. Shedeur was able to break away from so many sacks in this game. Steve Linton was just was just relentless out there on the field. They could not block him at all. I still stand on. I think that Benson, the right tackle for Colorado, might be the worst right tackle I've ever seen play football. But that's neither here nor there. He was getting destroyed the entire night. But at this point, I'm just getting used to it from watching these Colorado games. Colorado comes out with a huge win. Baylor was up in this game. I think it was 24-17 at halftime. Colorado came out and struck again. Baylor was able to come back, take the lead. But in the final seconds, Hail Mary, could have been 2 scores in a row, honestly. Shedeur found somebody 2 times in a row. I don't even know how you do that, but he did. Found somebody 2 times in a row to send them to overtime. They come out of overtime, they score immediately. Baylor gets the ball back. They get in scoring position, and Travis Hunter comes and hits the ball with his helmet, knocks it out. Ball goes through the end zone, and it is a touchback. Game over. Colorado wins. Crazy game, back and forth game, very entertaining game, and it's 2 teams that I root for. Of course, I'm a Baylor fan, but I do root for Colorado, at least while Deion is there and Shedeur and Travis and those guys are there. One point I do want to make. If the committee or whoever it is doesn't just go and drop the Heisman Trophy off in Colorado and give it to Travis Hunter, I have no idea what we're doing. All these lists I'm seeing of Carson Beck and all these other random people. Can anybody name me? And you can see on the screen, guys, if you're watching with us. And if you're listening, I'll say the number. 1-800-215-0598. 1-800-215-0598. That's the number you can call at. Can anybody name me a better football player than Travis Hunter in the country? Any team. Carson Beck, the quarterback for Tennessee, whoever we're going to put up there and name as these Heisman guys. Is anybody better at playing football than Travis Hunter? He is possibly the best receiver in the nation. He is possibly the best corner in the nation at the same time. It's really ridiculous to be able to see. No, he's not going to be able to do this in the NFL playing full time, but if they give him half snaps on both sides, he can do it. He can play. You bring him in on third downs to play corner. You bring him in on second and third down to play receiver. He can do that. He can't play full time like he's doing right now in college, but this dude is a monster. The best player in college football, I think, hands down. I mean, y'all can jump in the comments on Facebook if you're watching with us or on YouTube. Let me know some names of people that y'all think are better than Travis Hunter. I don't see anybody through the first 4 weeks of the season, anybody better than Travis Hunter for Colorado. But like I said, very, very entertaining game. Quay, I'll start with you, man. I know you was watching this game. What'd you think about this win for Colorado against Baylor a couple nights ago?
I think we got to see Baylor understand that they can raise their level of competition. We get to see everybody's best game against Colorado because they know it's on prime time.
Yep.
We got to see Baylor find out who their new quarterback is. I think we got to see their defensive identity to fight. But we have to bring up how cold Shedeur is. Again, Tyrell, you my dog. But to be honest, I don't know what an eye test is if that's not one. To be sacked 8 times, to make sure your team is still in the game, to also fight through he literally was rushed, hurried, or touched on every play. Every play. That's insane. Every time he said hut, somebody from the opposing team was touching him. He didn't have any clean pocket ever. He ran the ball. He did everything you can ask for. He literally gave if he didn't do half of the things he did, they lose.
Facts.
Travis Hunter is by far maybe the best college player we've ever seen. We're getting to watch him. And do you realize that last play, Jalen, he switched from corner to safety because he said the quarterback was killing him?
Yeah, dog.
He went to the box. He went to the box and ended up getting the last game-winning tackle. He switched on the goal line from corner to safety to come in the box to make the tackle because he felt like they weren't going to make the tackle and got the game. What are we talking about? Like, this happened in real time. He'd rather give up the pass over there, you get mossed, and then you miss that tackle and they walk in the end zone. That's a dog. We're watching. He definitely can do this in the NFL. He can't play this many snaps, but like you said, with the right system, right coaching, please don't go to Chicago. But
Oh
with the
my
right
God.
system and right coaching, he could be. We could be watching the generational talent that we're watching. Definitely drop the Heisman off. For Baylor, I feel like Baylor, we're getting to see them pick up a new identity. That was a good game for them. They can take a lot from this because I don't think the Big 12 season is over at all.
Oh no.
So I think Baylor take this, and I think Baylor have a better season, and they have a great recruiting class coming in next year. It's gonna be this uphill climb, even though they wanted that win. I believe they should have got that win at the end, but Shador is a dog, like Jalen said. How do you make two Hail Mary plays in a row and they score? Like, what are we talking about? How? There is no like. I I can't. The first one was I couldn't imagine him dropping that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But the fact that you even got to throw off, then the second one, you leave with just enough air on it. I don't know, man. It just I don't know, man. We watching Magic and people just don't like Dion, but man, I don't know. It was great. It's great to see that and to be a quarterback. I know Shador's whole body is sore every game.
Facts.
Come on, bro. He has the ice. What are we talking about, man? I ain't never seen no other quarterback with this caliber play with this worth of a line, bro, and still be talked about like this. So it was a great game for me. I feel like the Baylor got to take what they need from it and move on. But it was a great game. It's a classic. We can watch. I will rewatch that game from beginning to end again.
Now, facts. I mean, it had we saw kick returns, we saw interceptions, we saw everything out there on the field on Saturday in what just came to be a great game. And like you said, I didn't know that Shador was that strong. It's the amount of tackles that he broke. Like they're not even. He got out of so many situations that was supposed to just easily be a sack. Because like I said, Benson, that right tackle, man. I understand y'all brought him in and he had transferred. Y'all have to bench dude. He is the worst right tackle I've seen put a helmet on in quite some time. And that's including the tackles that they had last year. Dude is terrible. They got to do something about him. They have to. I don't know what they do, but they got to do something about him. I knew he was bad when he came out there with that neck brace on, like he was Ray Nitschke or something. I don't know what he's doing. He got to take the neck brace. Well, he can keep the neck brace on. He's got to go to the bench, though. Kyle, what do you think about this game, man? Like we said, instant classic, Baylor versus Colorado. Colorado gets the win.
Yeah, man, that game was crazy. Like that's probably the most college football game we've gotten in the last, at least for me personally, you know. But yeah, man, this was a game that had me looking at Shador in a new light. Like I've been waiting for really just to see him play well against just a team that I know gets players and talent and has athletes. You know what I'm saying? So this was a game where I was just like actually really impressed. And it just really yeah. So I'm gonna have to compare him to. I'm gonna have to put him in a different light now. He definitely earned his way into a new category for me. He's just a dog to me, like just a player. You know what I'm saying? Like almost like what was that quarterback's name? I know that he's a lot more polished, but the way what's that kid's name from DeSoto a couple of years ago? They played quarterback, just a playmaker. Cause it really wasn't like the arm or anything that was just going crazy to me. Nah, he was getting the ball there and he does have a good arm. But the way he was avoiding pressure and just rolling out and just making play after play was just very impressive. But on the other hand, it's kind of it's gonna always get overshadowed because I think Quay's right, man. We might be looking at the best college football player ever.
Boy, Travis serious.
Like, what you mean you switched at safety? It was like, yeah, let me do this real quick, and then force a fumble. He 180, and he might be 180, but you know he just like this must be the most like balanced and coordinated player we've ever seen. You put your helmet right on the football, pop the ball out, and on the other side, and he's been doing this for 3 weeks now. When he was at corner making plays, it just this so happened. This is the game winning one. I was just like, everybody was talking about this game, man. He's been doing it all year. Picks, touchdowns on the other side. Picks, touchdowns on the other side. Forced fumble, game-winning fumble against your first Big 12, like probably the biggest game in Colorado history. I don't know their history really too well, but definitely the modern era. The biggest game of their history, first game in the new conference against Baylor. Yeah, and they really showing y'all to me, they really showing them like the difference between me and you. That was a Shador and Travis game because they everywhere else Baylor had athletes. I'm talking athletes everywhere else. Everybody else making plays. D line, they walking on kick returns. These dudes not keeping up with them, man. It's like, yeah, this is what a real pedigree look like. This is what real athletes look like. So that was just a Shador and Travis legacy moment right there, man. And I was just happy that I got to see it. Yeah, I don't want to hear nobody else about to talk about that Heisman, man. Like, I don't care what his record is. I hear everybody chirping about that. Oh, I don't think Colorado's gonna have a record. This, that, and the third. Man, forget them records, man.
Who's the best?
Who's the best?
That's what I'm saying. Who's the best? Like, when we talking about records, like who's the best?
Who you gonna give it to? Right, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, who probably not even the best quarterback on his team at this point. Who he the leader, but it's who you want to give it to? Receiver Missouri? No. What I don't know, man. It's got to be Travis. You cannot ignore this type of season. When this type of anomaly comes around, you have to reward it because you gotta. They have a chance to set a great precedent here, to where we can probably see multiple kids doing this over instead of like, every 5 years a Champ Bailey or I wonder, did Jamar Chase play any defense at all?
He was too cold on offense.
Yeah,
I did forget about Miles Jack though. He played running back when he was at UCLA
Miles
too.
Jack.
Yeah,
you're still right. Miles Jack, and there was another one too. He's a linebacker, Shaq. What's his name?
Thompson.
Shaq Thompson. Yeah, he played running back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. But we gotta set a precedent with this one, man. Like, come on, dude. This is ridiculous.
It's unheard of. It's unheard of, and to watch this, to see this. I mean, we got to drop the trophy off, man. Ain't no more debating about that. It's time to drop the trophy off. One thing I will say with Baylor, I'm finally glad that y'all threw a go ball to Monterey Baldwin. Like, I don't understand why we can't get that more. He's one of the fastest people in the nation. I don't understand why we don't get that more. And the ball was a little bit too long, left out there too long, but still he was able to go out there and make a play. I don't understand why they don't give him the ball more. The dude's one of the fastest guys in the nation. And then with Colorado, yes, Baylor was a test. Hey, man, they got a test for real coming up. A lot of people are not going to talk about it with UCF, but Colorado's weakness right now is stopping the run, and they're going against some real deal dogs. And as far as in the run game next week with UCF, if you haven't been paying attention, go look at R.J. Harvey, the running back for UCF's highlights so far this year. Dude is a monster. Then they got one of the biggest quarterbacks in the nation with KJ Jefferson, who transferred from Arkansas over there. He's a monster running that football too. So they got a real test coming up next week. But we got a couple more quick takes, folks. That was just us talking about that crazy Colorado and Baylor game. So we'll see how both of these teams do moving forward in the rest of the season. Another quick take. I got to talk about, like Kyrell said, Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts, another turnover. They won the game, so I will give him his props. They won the game, and they won a game that I didn't think they were going to win, honestly. I thought this was going to be the Saints. I mean, they look like world beaters in the first couple weeks, and I thought that the Saints didn't really or the Eagles didn't stand much of a chance, but they won the game. But Jalen Hurts has got to stop turning the ball over. Had another pick yesterday, and I know this warms Kyrell's heart talking about this, and he'll jump back on here later with us. Jalen Hurts, since the beginning of last year, 26 turnovers, leads the league in turnovers. You got to stop turning the ball over, dude. You got to stop turning the ball over. Eagles do squeak out a win, though. They squeak out a win. It was an ugly game all the way to the fourth quarter. Then the Eagles were able to run off 15 points. There are only 15 points in the game, but that was because Saquon Barkley, he's front runner right now for Offensive Player of the Year in my eyes. Saquon Barkley is doing exactly what we thought he could do. He was one of the best prospects coming out of the draft of all time, and he's living up to that. Not saying he didn't play good in New York, but obviously that New York team just wasn't talented enough. Now that he's around dogs, I mean, he is just a complete game changer. He's taking the games over for the Eagles. He's the reason why they have 2 wins. Yeah, everybody was getting on him last week. He dropped that pass, and that would have ended the game. That is true. But he made up for it. 17 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had a couple catches in that game as well too. He's a dog. He's proven he's a dog, and he's proven that he wants to win. He's willing his teams to these wins, and they had to will a win out yesterday as they barely squeaked out a win against the Saints, who didn't score a touchdown, or they scored one touchdown after lighting the world on fire in their first 2 games of the season. But that's just showing that we don't know much in this early season so far in this year's edition of the NFL. It's been up and down. It's been crazy already so far this year. Teams that are undefeated that we didn't think would be undefeated. Teams with a lot of losses like Baltimore, like Jacksonville, who's playing tonight, like the Bengals, who are playing tonight, who haven't won a game. So there's a lot to be discovered about this NFL so far. Quay, what do you think about the Eagles squeaking out a win yesterday, and then this stat with Jalen Hurts leading the league in turnovers since the beginning of last year?
I think the Eagles, good win. They needed it. Jalen Hurts is struggling. Kyrell, like I said, I give Kyrell props for calling last year. He brought the same slump from last year into this year. We're watching his game. Everybody has the film on him. He hasn't really got any better as the Eagles quarterback. He has a lot of talent on him. He has no excuse. So it was kind of hard to watch. But the Eagles squeak out a win. They do slow down the Saints, who we were putting on the pedestal, which I still think they're good. I think they just had a bad game. The Eagles didn't not just beat them bad. It was really an ugly game. The points were ugly. It was just an ugly game. But Jalen Hurts, man, if he didn't have Saquon, they might be no win. So
0-3.
it's terrible, man. I feel sorry for him, but he's still playing like Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma, and that's not gonna do it in the NFL. Like, it's not. His mechanics as a quarterback, throwing the ball, it looked like it hurt. He got a noodle on him too. Like, man, I don't know but I'm not writing Jalen Hurts off because it's competitive.
Fact.
I think he just needs to get back to doing just like they're doing with Justin Fields. Just make the throws that they need. You don't have to be Superman. You don't have to make those crazy. Make the 6-yard stop throws. Make the 5-yard out throws. Just be a quarterback. You don't have to be this extra. You're gonna get paid anyway.
Yeah.
Just be a regular quarterback. So that's what I take away from that game. But hopefully Jalen Hurts get it, because I don't know, man. That is terrible.
Yeah.
And, still a win, so I guess they'll be all right.
Yeah, it's still a win, and that's the one thing I can say about Jalen Hurts, and his coach came out there and said it. He is a winner, and he didn't just play horrible yesterday. It's just stop turning the ball over. It's the same thing with whenever Dak turns the ball over. It ain't about Dak. It's just out there going, some Daniel Jones stats or something, or Caleb Williams the first couple weeks. Like, he just 8 for 30. But stop turning the ball over, and nobody has done that more than Jalen Hurts in the last year and a half. No one has turned the ball over more. And it's not even just picks. He fumbles it. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Because you go 29 for 38 with 300 yards. Most of the time, that's a decent game. That's a pretty good game. But you got to stop turning the ball over, though. I don't know what it is with him. He fumbled. He had 2 turnovers yesterday. He fumbled the ball, and he threw a pick. Like, you have got to stop turning the ball over, man. And Saquon is their saving grace. Kyrie, I know this is a fun topic for you. Go ahead and talk about Jalen Hurts and these turnovers, bro. He's leading the league in turnovers, and then talk about the Eagles squeaking out a win yesterday.
Yeah, man. I was very confused by that game. Just to watch what happened against the Cowboys the week before, and then just not to have any inkling of the same team in the Superdome or whatever they call New Orleans Stadium Dome. Mm-hmm. It was just, I was so confused. But again, Jalen Hurts, he don't look bad, bro. Like, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
He ain't really out there trying to do too much. He's just making the throws he got to make. He made the throw he had to make, but it's just like, it's just another thing. It's like, okay, they won, but bro, like, we know what we saw. Like, y'all wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
I tell you that. Like, you just got lucky because your players ran into each other, their players ran into each other. But same time, man, I don't know what you do with the kid. Like, he you got the pieces around him. I'm attributing it that he's gonna look better when AJ Brown gets back. When AJ Brown gets back and he doesn't have to force to Devontae Smith and all, because I think that's how that pick happened. Devontae Smith was like rounded his route, you know.
Yeah.
So Tyrann Mathieu, another GOAT, you know, jumped in front of that thing. But it was I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Like, come on, Quay.
You gonna say something?
Oh, bro. It's fine, man. I almost got and then Jalen, he laughing from the other room.
Yeah.
He like behind. Man, but yeah, he's okay, man. I just don't know what's up with the turnovers. That's what it is. I'm really not sure how to fix that for him, because I think the stat. I think I didn't hear what stat you guys mentioned, but I think I know which one it is, and it is ugly. So
26 turnovers, leads the league since the beginning of last year.
Yeah. I thought you was gonna talk about the last three or four games. It's a stat where he's just like close to the Daniel Jones stat we read about the week.
Yeah.
You know, so it's I don't know, man. Like they've taken I don't want to say the brains of the offense, because he can't or he's not smart enough to do it. But bro, like I'm watching Landon Dickinson do the pass protection, and I'm like, man, that's the most quarterbacks they do that. You don't do that. I haven't really seen that before, but I just saw somebody point that out, and I was like, oh well, I'll be like, well, is he really? This is how this is what that looks like. So I don't know how you fix it, man. I'm still not sold on the Eagles. Like, I still think if we play the Eagles, that it's gonna be a close game, despite how we look against the Ravens and the Saints. Saquon is a game breaker. It's time to reopen that chat about him and Christian. Who's the best?
Yeah.
Because hey, Saquon, man, the Giants. How you fumble that, man? They just had Saquon just on like acting like he wasn't in the league for the first couple of years of the season. But he was probably ability-wise, like Saquon couldn't be beat up there with McCaffrey. He really looked better than McCaffrey to me. It's just McCaffrey got better hands for sure, especially after last week. But, yeah, man, Saquon is a dude, and I'm looking at that team, and I'm thinking they should be right. They should be where we at, honestly, 1 and 2. But I'm not scared of him. And Jalen Hurts is a big reason to that. I think he's gonna keep doing this. He's been doing that outside of that Super Bowl run, but I'm not sold, man. I'm happy about it more than likely, but I don't want to see that brother, man. My brother freshly engaged, got a beautiful queen, so I want him to really figure it out and just not look too bad, still lose here and there, but I don't want you to play like garbage though. You can be worse than Dak without being that. You know what I'm saying? We can find a middle ground here. So I'm happy about it, man. I'm not scared of the Eagles. They got, I don't know. I think this is what I really think happened, dude. I think New Orleans, Dallas, like that's kind of like
that's a little rivalry.
One of the rivalries. That's one of them regional rivalries, right?
Yeah.
Like probably like San Francisco and the Rams finna be, because I'm sure them Rams fans don't like that being a San Francisco stadium. San Francisco get 2 home games or 4 home games every year. So
facts.
I'm I can say in the same division, but what I'm saying, regional rivalries. And I just think they were so hot to play Dallas that they might have came out there on some extra stuff and then came back down to earth this week. So I think all these teams are really right around each other. It's just, oh man, I don't know. I don't know who's good in the NFC, Jacob. Tampa Bay lost.
Yeah.
I really don't know what's going on, but it is what it is.
Yeah, NFC is a wild card right now. I don't know who's good in the NFC, like you said. I mean, it's just we got to use more time. It's hard to make predictions, prognostications, whatever you want to call it, about this NFL season so far, especially in the NFC, because we just don't know. I thought Tampa Bay was good, and they got whooped by Denver, by Bo Nix. Bo Nix got a W yesterday. And even weirder than Bo Nix getting a W yesterday, the Giants got a W yesterday. Daniel Jones goes out there, and I've been hard on Daniel Jones saying, he's terrible, all this kind of stuff. He had a good game yesterday. Do I think he's going to stop being terrible? No, but I got to give him props when he deserves his props. He had a good game yesterday, 24 for 34, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. The Browns.
Hey, can I ask y'all something before, not to cut you out?
Go ahead.
Can we do something real quick though?
Yeah.
Can we still predict who we think gonna be in the Super Bowl? And I give y'all mine, and I'm just gonna leave it there, and I'm just gonna stick with my pick.
Yeah. Let me finish my point about Daniel Jones and neighbors, and then we can do that. So Daniel Jones, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, played a good game. The real standout in the game is Malik Neighbors. I didn't think he was going to be this good this early just because Daniel Jones is bad. But they're doing exactly what you do when your team is bad. This dude getting 12 targets. He had 8 catches, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's really like that. We knew he was like that coming out of college, but he definitely is proven in the league. He's still going to be like that. So just shout out to them. But to your point, Quay, like I said, it's hard to predict who's going to be good going forward because it's been so crazy. But you say you got the crystal ball. Who you think to start this off is already looking like championship contenders?
I'm going rematch from last year, bro.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that ain't shocking. That ain't shocking.
And not just because I'm a 49ers fan. I just think the NFL is so all over the place right now. And I'll just go with, I know Pat gonna find a way. If Pat don't find a way to get to the Super Bowl, I don't know who's gonna be there. So I'm just going Pat on that side. You know what I'm saying? I got to go back with the 49ers. I think we hurt. We get it back together. And I like what I seen yesterday, even though we hurt. You know what I'm saying? Even though we lost, I like what Brock Purdy came out and did. I still like Jalen. I like what we did, man. It was a good game to me.
Yeah, no, I ain't mad at that, and that's not a terrible pick. I honestly, obviously the Chiefs are 3-0. But I'm going to go the opposite. I don't think the Chiefs are getting back. I don't know who yet. I'm not ready to make my pick of who it is. I just don't think it's going to be the Chiefs. I think attrition is eventually going to set in. Yeah, they're winning games right now. They know how to win. They know how to win games. And they got them boys in stripes out there playing with them too, honestly. I know everybody's saying, they could. Every game, a wild call that doesn't get called. They called the pass interference last week on Sunday Night Football, whatever it was, Monday night, whenever the Chiefs played. Or that Sunday afternoon game against the Bengals. They called that pass interference. Yesterday, they hit Kyle Pitts with a 2x4 before the ball goes up. No pass interference call. At some point, it's just getting ridiculous. Like DeMarcus Cousins says, it's just getting ridiculous. They got to do something about that. But I don't think the Chiefs are going back because I don't like the way that Mahomes is turning his ball over. I know he did it last year. But you can't keep getting away. You can't keep living on borrowed time. That's what I feel like the Chiefs are doing. Every game is at the end of the game, we pull something out, and then the refs do something. I feel like you're living on borrowed time, man, and you can't keep operating like that. Before we move on, Kyrell, any quick predictions? Since Quay said he thinks it's going to be the same as last year, any quick predictions on who you think is going to be there?
I couldn't tell you. Nah, man.
Same.
I like the Packers the most right now, but I'm not ready to make a prediction. I think the Chiefs are gonna go back like Quay, but it's the same thing with Brady, man. Like when Brady was winning, didn't it feel like the refs was like kind of on his side, bro? Like they just kept getting calls and stuff like that. And I'm sure they had other reasons, but we don't got to talk about them today. But right now, because I'm not gonna accuse Andy Reid of that. But yeah, I think the league is telling you who's gonna go back.
For real.
And then what's it? Is it Jesse Bates out there, or is it the other one, Justin Simmons?
Justin Simmons. That's always getting the pick on him. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that was the case of that, man. I think he just got that dude's number. That kid, we the same age. All right, that dude's number. So I'm not. Yeah, I'm rolling with the Chiefs. It's just that NFC, man. I have no clue.
NFC is a toss-up.
Buffalo look today too. Buffalo look today too.
Yeah, we'll see how Buffalo look, and I think they're just about to kick that game off in Buffalo right now as they're taking on Jacksonville. So we'll predict them in just a second. Before I keep going with some baseball, with the football, I want to make one point in baseball, and we don't talk about baseball much on this show, but I do have to make this point. Shohei Ohtani is the best person to ever put on whatever equipment you put on in baseball, because I don't even watch baseball like that, so I ain't even going to pretend like I just watch crazy baseball. The best dude to pick up a bat, man. Shohei Ohtani is ridiculous. This is a creative player they were watching. the best pitcher. He was the best pitcher in the MLB for a couple years. He gets hurt. They say, hey, bro, you're going to have to stop doing the Travis Hunter thing and playing both sides. We're just going to hit. He's a DH, so he don't have to even field. He's only going out there and hitting the ball. And dude goes out here and breaks records. 52 home runs and 52 stolen bases after you were just the best pitcher in the MLB the last 2 years is ridiculous. Best player in baseball. Argue with your mama. I know we don't have a lot of people on here to watch baseball, but there's a lot of baseball fans out there. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I just watch a lot of baseball, but I do watch. Shohei Ohtani is the best person to ever play baseball. I just wanted to make that point. So if y'all want to come on here and argue Babe Ruth or whoever you're going to say, or Ricky Mantle, baseball players, they always want to bring up somebody from the 30s. That's who's the best. But Shohei Ohtani is the best guy to ever play baseball, and I'm willing to argue about that. We can pull the stats up. But to continue our talk about the NFL, yesterday, the team that Quay was just talking about, his 49ers, going back to the Super Bowl. Yesterday, they drop a game to the Rams. And that's not surprising. We're not going to act like we haven't seen the Rams beat the 49ers before. Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan are close friends. Used to coach together. They've been coaching against each other for years now. It's always going to be a good game when those two play against each other. Rams have a comeback win, 27-24. Rams scored 13 points in the fourth quarter. Jawan Jennings goes crazy. Kyra, for your take of Jawan Jennings or Michael Gallup, we know the answer. Jawan Jennings goes 11 catches, 175 yards, 3 touchdowns, and really just puts on, man, in the absence of Deebo Samuel. Once again, Brandon Ayuk, 5 catches, 48 yards, 10 targets. I don't know if the 49ers regime is rethinking this $40 million a year they gave Brandon Ayuk. I don't know. I said from the jump I wouldn't have gave him that much money, but I understand it. Rocky broke it down on here a few weeks ago, talking about, Deebo's in his last year's contract next year, all this kind of stuff. You're not going to want to pay him. Brandon Ayuk is younger. Yeah, I get that. But Rams come back and win this game. 49ers drop to 1-2. Is it time to start pushing the panic button on the 49ers, or are they just missing George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey? Quay, this is your team. I'll let you take off on this first.
We started out bad last year. We dropped like 3 games in a row, beginning of the season. But we also played a team that's trying to come in and embarrass us every day. And I think we are 2 of the most injured teams in the NFL too.
Facts.
As far as the team, like the players that we actually play and pay. So I wasn't really too concerned on the loss. I was just looking at so much more of what we have outside of our stars being gone. We're watching our backup running back get numbers. We're watching our third receiver get numbers. We're watching our tight ends. We're watching our defense show up. Our linebackers still hurt. We're just getting it back together. And Brandon Ayuk is, man, like I said, I like Brandon Ayuk. I would have gave him the $40 million as a 49ers fan. I do believe he deserved to be paid. But man, bro, for Jennings to come in and do what he does at $7 million, not saying it's saying a lot, bro. He had 12 targets and Ayuk had 10, and it's saying a lot. Like Ayuk, now you got paid, now turn the dog on. And like I had to tell somebody yesterday, Brandon Ayuk is a good player and he does put up the stats, but it's a lot of other people that feed the energy off of one-on-one. Now ain't nobody else to stop. You got to go kill. You got to go now you may get double team. You got to go kill. He doesn't deserve. He can't get a double team with all these other great players around him. And now they're going. You got to be the guy. And yesterday his production was mid, and it was just I can't really speak on that. That was the one downside I had of the game, but I wasn't tripping on the loss. Sean McVay is going to come in and give us the best game. The Rams are going to give us their best game every time. And they're hurt as well. So that was just a good win for them. But like I said, a lot of great spots. We got to see what type of depth we have going into the rest of the season. And we get back healthy next week and bring in back Christian McCaffrey. Haven't played at all. So we're going to see Mason get the main carry. And we see him be a guy. It's a good production and teamwork type of depth we have. So that's what I took from that. And good wins for the round. We not blowing up nothing. We not panicking.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I'm agreeing. I don't think it's time to hit the panic button, but it does raise some concerns. But to your point, Quay, they have their slow moments every season, is what it feels like, where they'll drop, 3 or 4 games. I mean, even that year that the Rams went to the Super Bowl, I think 49ers were like 8-8. Like, they dropped a bunch of games and then still made it to the NFC Championship game and gave the Rams a really good game. And that team ended up winning the Super Bowl. So I'm not ready to hit the panic button yet, but there are some questions and some concerns about the health of this team going forward and some of the decision making. Kyrell, what do you think about this 49ers team, man? Is it the panic button 1 and 2, or is this just this is kind of what they do?
Yeah, man, this is just a kind of thing where they doing what they do every year: get hurt, drop a couple games, and people start boasting of whatever that number 2 team in the NFC is at the time. But we're here. No Christian McCaffrey, no Kittle, so we're just they're missing some of the guys, man. Kittle's not everybody thinks of him as one of the best tight ends in the league, but he's one of the best because how he blocks, man. He's like one of the few superstar tight ends to me that like really knows how to block like extremely well, and they use that in the run game. They use that all over. So
like Gronk back in the day.
Yeah, like Gronk, really. And I put him on Gronk's blocking level because Greg Kittle was like he takes out the ends just constantly. Linebackers, they don't matter. But yeah, man, it's just an injury bug. Once they get all their star talent back, especially McCaffrey, they'll start riding them horses, man, and scoring touchdowns like they usually do. The offense is still okay, It's not like it was just really on the back end. Now, I didn't really see the big plays from LA, but if they did have some, I would be concerned because I'm looking at Minnesota, getting beaten too deep, getting behind 2 safeties, and then to backdoor if they gave up big plays against Matthew Stafford with no.
They had a couple.
So you can't really. That might be something to look at, but at the same time, I'm just not really worried about them or even want to think about them too much. They should have won that game though. Cooper Kupp was out, correct?
Yep.
So no Cooper Kupp, no Puka.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the tight end is, but I know he ain't costing nothing on DraftKings. But
Tutu Atwell was the leading receiver.
Yeah,
4 catches, 93 yards.
Right. You got to win that game. Like who are you losing to out there? But it is what it is. I think they'll be okay. They'll still be 1 or 2 in the NFC at the end of the year.
Yep, not time to hit the panic button. Go ahead, Quay.
Offense, my bad, Jalen, but offense, all pro safety coming back. We gonna be all right, man. We gonna be all right.
Yeah. I forgot about him. Yeah, he's gonna come back. I mean, they're hurt. That's just what the 49ers go through, and it's probably from being in the Final Four of teams for like the last 6 years is what it seems like. That's gonna happen. It's crazy to even see that they've had to run this long, but that's what's gonna happen. So not too concerned about them. Folks, got a game going on right now as we speak on this Monday night doubleheader. I believe that James Cook just scored once again. Of course he did. I'm playing him in fantasy this week. But I knew I was going to get killed by him anyway. But James Cook just scored. It's 9 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 6-0 right now for Buffalo. And we can predict the game while it's going on, but I think I know who we're all going to go with. The Bills are 2-0 and Jacksonville's 0-2. And the Bills come out on the first drive and score. But what do y'all think about this game tonight and then going forward really for the season? How do we judge this Buffalo Bills team, man? Are they legit? James Cook is kind of carrying the load on offense. He's scoring a lot of their touchdowns. Josh Allen is getting it done with an average group at best of receivers out there. What do we think about this team, Quay? I'll start with you. This Buffalo Bills squad against Jacksonville tonight and then just really for this season going forward.
I'm not sold at all. They won the came out a couple of times with a couple wins. Man. They just haven't played. They don't have a complete brand of football. They're getting by football is cool, but the later parts of the season, the talent don't show up. They're not talented. They didn't get any better. Like I feel like about the Cowboys. Josh Allen is a good quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback. He has the heart, but limited talent. They didn't. I don't believe they're legit. I just think the NFL is upside down right now. They should get the win today. Um, I'm gonna pick them for the obvious. The Jaguars aren't trying to win anything either. Uh, I'm not sold on them, but Buffalo for today, I guess.
Yeah, Buffalo, I expect them to win in this game, too. Jacksonville is honestly underwhelming. I thought this team was going to be good, and it's still early. Not saying that they can't be good just because they started 0-2, because Baltimore just started 0-2. We just seen that as well. So I'm not ready to just completely give up on the Jaguars team, but definitely they have been underwhelming so far. Kyra, what you think about this game tonight with Buffalo and Jacksonville, and then what do you think about the Bills going forward this season?
I think the AFC. I don't know what to think about the Bills, man, because I'm looking on their outside weapons. They really just don't have anything for me. I know Keon Coleman looked good at Florida State, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't really seen them do much in the league. They're relying a lot on Shakir and James Cook. And James Cook looks good so far, man, but I just don't know. Like, I'm just not ready to. If this is the second best team in the AFC, then I don't know where they got better at. It must have been culture or, just it's got to be.
I think people got worse.
Players, but they look better though. To me, they look better. Like they look more. What's the word I'm looking for? They look like they're just playing like smart football, kind of like the Chargers are. But that's the kind of football, and then just relying on Josh Allen when they have to. But I don't really see anybody just making Stephon Diggs type plays or anything. There's no big playmakers out there really. It's just guys. They're just getting first downs any way they can. Curtis Samuel, Shakir, James, run the ball with James Cook, and he's every third run turn into a touchdown.
Yeah.
I see Connor McGovern on that line, man. These line can't be all pro. Can't be. Because that dude was third string for many years down here in Dallas. So I'm just even that touchdown run, man, them dudes got beat off the point of attack, and James Cook just ran around them. Like, I'm looking at the play right now. I don't know what's to make of this. The offensive line is clearly getting beat, but this dude just made a little loop-de-loop and scored. So I don't know, man. I'm waiting on the Jaguars to be good, though. That's what I want to see get good. I'm still a Trevor Lawrence believer. Like, I don't think this dude's a bust at all. What are you doing?
No.
Sorry, I'm watching the game live too, man. It's ridiculous. Let me stop talking about Trevor Lawrence so we can get this first down. But yeah, man, I don't know what the Bills or the Jaguars are gonna look like. The NFL is upside down. The thing that did it for me was Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay losing.
Yeah.
In the fashion that they did.
So who they lost to?
Huh? Giants beating the Browns. Huh? Okay. Like, it just reiterates. Not saying the Browns are supposed to be any good, but I was just thinking the Giants were not going to show any fight this year, and here they are. But yeah, man, Tampa Bay losing I was like, all right, this got to be like the real preseason,
Yeah, I don't know what to expect out of that or what to think about that Tampa Bay. It's just one of those losses. Like, I don't really want to judge them off of that because the Broncos aren't going to keep playing good like that. And beating them 26-7 was kind of like, man, what's going on? Kind of like you said. But I don't put too much stock into that. I think Tampa Bay is still going to be good. They're just not going to be as good as maybe some people thought. Before we talk about the last game coming up tonight, another sneaky team we did not talk about was the Seattle Seahawks, man. Seahawks been doing their thing. Shout out to Geno. They blew out the Dolphins yesterday. They were supposed to blow out the Dolphins yesterday, but they took care of business, and they're 3-0 So shout out Seattle. That's got a chance with these injuries we're seeing with the 49ers. Seattle could win this division. They definitely could win this division. I would not be shocked about that at all if they go out there and win that division. So shout out Seattle. But one more game we have tonight on the doubleheader slate is the Commanders taking on the Bengals. That don't even sound right as a football game. That sounds sorry. The Commanders versus the Bengals. Bengals 0-2 to start the season. Commanders 1-1. They got to win over the Giants. Jaden Daniels, the rookie out there, not really sure how to judge him. He's not playing terrible, but he ain't playing great either. So he's doing his thing, though. Shout out to the young dude. He's doing his thing. It's hard to go out there and start as a rookie, especially in a bad organization like the Commanders. But this game is tonight. Washington is a 7-point underdog in this game. Cincinnati hasn't won a game, though. And they're 7-point favorites in this game, but they haven't won. Joe Burrow, they have to go out here and win this game. If they struggle against this Commanders team, I might be out on the Bengals, man. I might be out on them, and not just for this year, but just going forward. Because if they come in third place or fourth place in this division this year, they're going to blow the team up. Jamar Chase is going to go somewhere else and become the best receiver in the league. They already don't have no running game. They're going to keep paying Joe Burrow, of course. But, Trey Hendrickson, all these other guys, I'm not sure what happens with them. And they might blow this team up if they don't find a way to win. And it's got to start tonight against this Commanders team. Kyrie, what do you think about this game with the Commanders and the Bengals tonight at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, man. Online matchup. Really, online matchup, man. And y'all not even on the same little networks or whatever y'all want to talk about. Yeah, I'm excited to see Jaden Daniels, I guess. I'm trying to hype myself up for this game, man. I'm excited to see Jaden Daniels.
I might not watch it, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
But it is. What is Joe Burrow gonna do? I guess I can look for it. Hey, watch Joe Burrow, so I can make my rich kid take again. But yeah, man. What you want me to say, man?
It's a terrible slate. I feel like they put 2 games up and they're both bad.
Yeah, that's why they got a double header, because they knew they was gonna be mad. Boy, it wasn't bullshit. So at least it's 2 games. So these gotta be something. So yeah, man, they really should start doing that too. Like if it's Monday night and it's just a horrible matchup, let's throw another game on there just so people can get that, because we paying for YouTube TV, paying for all these different subscriptions. Some people, I ain't gonna talk about what I'm doing, but
don't get your computer shut down.
But at the end of the day, man, they really should start having more double headers. But I don't know what you want me to say, man. Terry McLaurin, the McCaffrey cousin. I don't even know which one that is.
That's his man, brother. You turned him into a cousin.
Ain't his name like Willy Wonka or something, bro? Like, what's it?
His name is Luke. Luke McCaffrey.
Nah, man. It's like I thought it was something like Disney Channel. I don't know, bro. But I don't want to watch that, man. I'm gonna evaluate this quarterback, and I'm gonna evaluate the state of the emotions of the Bengals. But outside of that, man, I could. Oh man, did Trevor Lawrence? I think Trevor Lawrence just got hurt. But yeah. I don't know, man. Get you a Lego set or something while you watch. I guess, because this is not primetime TV. Hopefully, this first game is good though. Not much. I'm not excited to watch the Commanders.
No, I'm not. I'm not excited either. I'm going to watch it because I have to. But my only interesting point I can make myself watch this is, like you said, the quarterback battle. I want to watch Jaden Daniels and what he does, and I want to see if Joe Burrow, is he damaged goods or is he the real deal still? That same Joe that went to the Super Bowl, the same Joe that won a national championship at LSU. Because right now, I don't know. I'm just not seeing that same pop off the screen that we've seen usually. Quay, what do you think about this game? Commanders versus Cincinnati in a couple minutes is coming on.
Terrible matchup. It's just a game on the schedule. I told you at the beginning of the season, Jalen, we talked about it again. I'm out on the Bengals. I think we got to see the top of what they were trying to do. We have seen Jamar Chase act a fool. We're getting to see them not be on. And what exactly is Joe Burrow right now? So I have no faith in the team. Like I said, I felt like once they started making feuds and having problems, it wasn't going to be a good season for them. Next year it won't be the same team. So I'm out on the Bengals, but this game is going to be mid, and I'm going to take. I don't even know who to take in that game. I'm gonna go with the young buck. I'm gonna say Washington just because, and I ain't just trying to go get the Bengals. Like I actually like Joe Burrow, but he's been such a disappointment to me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just go with Washington just because, but who knows who can win? Anybody can win that game.
Yeah, this is a toss up, game. Yeah, they got Cincinnati favored by a touchdown. That's cool, and I guess that's the safe pick. Excuse me. I guess that's the safe pick to choose them, but not much to watch here. I'm going to watch, like I said, because that's my job, and that's what I'm going to do is watch this game. But I am looking forward to seeing the young kid Jaden Daniels playing on primetime. What does he look like with all the lights on? Before we get out of here, folks, real quick take. Carolina gets a win. Carolina gets a win. That's something we haven't said in I don't know how long. Not only do they get a win, they scored 30-something points. Now, I came on here last week, and I'll keep it brief because we're running out of time. I came on here the last couple of weeks and said, yeah, it's the organization's fault. You know, Bryce Young, they're ruining that kid, yada, yada, yada. Andy Dalton goes out here and puts up 319, 3 touchdowns. Chuba Hubbard runs for 114 yards. Didn't we just say last week that he had a good game and why did he only get 10 carries? Well, he got 21 carries this game and had 114 yards. Plus, he had another 55 yards receiving. Deontay Johnson, who they got to answer their receiver problems that they've had about no weapons, and he is a good receiver. He had 8 catches for 122 yards because he had 14 targets. They threw on the ball, and the dude is still good at football. What a shocker. Xavier Legette, who they drafted in the first or second round, who's probably the country's accent in the NFL. He had a couple good plays yesterday. So I don't know, man. I might have to rethink this, and we'll talk about it as the week goes on. Might have to rethink that. Quick thoughts on the Panthers getting the win yesterday. Quay, I'll go ahead and start with you. I think he's still muted. Kyra, go ahead real quick on Carolina getting the win yesterday with Andy Dalton.
Man, I don't have no idea what to make of that. Only thing I'm gonna say is, man, if you want to put blame on anybody, I guess you got to blame Tyrese Maxey. I guess because since Andy Dalton threw 3 touchdowns, we can't blame them no more. Even though, yeah, we got to blame Tyrese Maxey. But no,
I'm
in all
Maxey
seriousness, man, you know exactly how Maxey got it. Yeah, so all I'm gonna say is it's a picture of Bryce Young walking in with his girl. It ain't one with him leaving with her. And you know, so I guess that boy, he in Sadville. Good news for him. The new Future tape just dropped, so maybe he can tap into that, get back in his mode, man. But he gonna have to check out that mixtape and figure it out. But in all seriousness, yeah, they already broke this kid. Like, I don't know why he was. I mean, I get he was a dog at Alabama, but they broke the kid's confidence, and then he probably doesn't have the best tools to succeed in the league. You know, everybody wants to talk about Kyler Murray's stature, right? But if you look at Kyler Murray out there and then look at Bryce Young, who looks like an NFL player?
Yeah,
you know, like Kyler Murray still looks like he can
a top athlete.
Top athlete. Bryce Young looks like he's the Gatorade Player of the Year, man. Like from high school, you know, he looks like a slender child running around out there, and it's just like, man, you got the what they call him, man, Red Lightning or something.
Red Hornet
out there. Oh yeah, the Red Hornet. Out there and 3 touchdowns. Come on, man. That what a just stab to the ego, man. Like that sucks. I was really hoping they would look bad just so Bryce, you know, that could have gave some confidence to Bryce. But now it's just gonna be like, yeah, it's you, bro. Yeah, your team suck and it might be you, bro. Your girl, bro, it might be you, bro. Like, it's just he's getting hit from all sides, man. And no Diddy, but it's just crazy. And I don't want to lean in on him, man. But I just really hope he gets out of there to another franchise and then figures this whole thing out. But yeah, looks like he might have been the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough, man. That's a tough situation. Like you said, I don't want to root against anybody, but I didn't want Andy Dalton to have that good of a game. He came out and dominated. Same team, same squad, and we kept saying that stuff about the offensive line being bad. I did my homework. That was false. The offensive line has actually been great. They've given up like the least amount of pressures to Bryce Young in the last, I don't even remember how many games, especially this year. I think they've given up the least amount of pressures this year. So they gave Andy Dalton time, and the dude went crazy out there. Over 300 yards, like I said, he went crazy. Deontay Johnson is still a dog out there, and he looked like it. And they just gave him carries and they gave him the ball. Gave him receptions and targets. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll talk about that more in the week. Folks, want to thank everybody for watching with us today. I want to thank Kyrell and Quay for coming on here with me. Tomorrow, we still got plenty more football to talk about. We didn't even get to talk about all the college games. Still got a few NFL games we didn't touch on. And we got to recap the Monday night football games. If you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube, jump over to YouTube, Centex Sports TV on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that bell so you can get notified when we go live every day, 5 to 7 weekdays. Also, go over to the app Centex Sports One. Download the app on the Google Play Store and on the Apple Store, and you'll get the notifications. And you can watch this or listen to it, whichever one you decide from wherever you're at. Want to thank everybody, like I said, for watching with us. And we got more football to talk about tomorrow, folks. So we will see you guys next time. See you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Good night.
Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all know.
Weekdays